Hi everyone, I have been lucky enough to have been sent a gift of these two very cute books. What I'm going to do is tell you a little tiny bit about both, and then I'm going to flip through one and do a colouring, and we'll save a flip through of this second book for another video and do a colouring. I thought that might be a fun way to do. They're quite small books, as you can see from my hand. I thought I would just let you know the size. So they're 8 inches by just 5 and a bit, 5 and a quarter maybe, or if you're working centimetres like me, they're 13 and a half by 20 and a half, something like that. They've got a very shiny cover. If I put my light on, you can see the shine. Okay, I'm just going to move that one away. And we've got a back cover with a few of the pictures on and some writing about the artist. It says, I've been working as a caricature artist for quite a while, so my colouring pages are more ironic than romantic, and you can see my works here, and here's my Fiverr page, and there are 32 portraits of humanoid reptiles in different settings in the book. And it says a similar thing on the other book. It just doesn't have the website addresses. Now this is 2019 and this is 2022, so I don't know whether maybe these sites don't exist or they've been updated or something. I haven't gone to check. I just wanted to get and have a look at the book. So I've left the light on for the flip through. I think it'd be a little bit easier. I'm sorry about the shine, but you can see it's got a nice shiny cover. And I did check, and it's an Amazon printed book. I didn't know you could print books in this smaller size from Amazon. I've got print on demand books on Amazon, and mine might have been more suited to this size. But anyway, we're going to start. So we can start with a picture right away. There's no sort of intro page or anything. We go straight into pictures. So you've got a fun little critter here in a sort of armour with a sword and a drum, I think. And look at this around the outside. I think that's quite a fun one to colour. You've got all that pretty bit, and then his cute face. I think it's cute. I had a quick flick through this, just looked at a couple of pages, thought they were really funny. I don't know, I think they're supposed to be quite funny. So we have a sort of admiral maybe from the hat, but he's the little horned critter. I think he's fun. And again, we've got this nice border, and these are quite nice. They're obviously small, but you've got a bit of a background, so if you want to practice background on a really little area, but we've also got curtains there and things like that, so there's plenty to keep you occupied. Oh, and now he's an admiral, isn't he? He looks like Nelson. He's got his sort of posh shouldery things and his claws. I've got some monsters behind him as well. I think he's fun. Oh, we have a female sort of beaked reptile of some description, but look at her very smart looking dress. These look like Union Jacks or something, maybe, I don't know, maybe not, but it's quite fun. Oh, he looks very well to do. Look at his face. Oh. He's got a book with him as well. So these you can do all sorts of bright colours and sort of anything, pink, purple, green, brown, whatever you want. I mean, you could make the costume really bright and the reptile really sort of dark, or make a sort of pastely pink with he's got such a serious face, and make him pink or something. He is funny. Oh, look at this guy's face. He's got a gun. I don't know where he's supposed to be from. Look at, he's got feathers on his hat. So I don't know. Oh, and this one, he's got a parrot type thing. I'm not quite sure what that is. It's funny. And there's sort of curtains around as well, so there's a bit more to practice with your colouring. Sorry, it's not really opening. I don't really want to sort of break the spine. So we'll see. I'll flatten it down before I colour a page. Oh, it's a jester. Look at his face. You'd have to laugh, wouldn't you? Oh, it's funny. This is quite intricate though. Intertwined, and it looks like a horn or something. So we've got metallics to do there, which is quite fun. And all these up here. And they've got the bells. What fun. How interesting. Oh, and oh, he looks really sneaky. It's got a clock. And there's a tower. It's a strange one, isn't it? He's got a hat, but his eye, he looks so sneaky. Such a personality. Right, let's turn around. What have we got going on here? I can't make... my eyes are watering because I'm laughing. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's in bed. Oh, it's a bed. Look. It's like a 4-poster bed and he's lying down, but he looks squished. And he's got a butterfly on his knee and he looks really cross. Unless he's going to eat it. What do you think? Don't know. Oh, we're back round this way. Okay, so we have a pipe smoking reptilian this time. He's wearing a very smart looking smoking jacket, I think. Look, you can imagine sort of velvety and maybe some gold colouring and all this sort of gold frame. And then he's got such a silly face. So funny. Well, look at this guy. He's a very serious author. Look, it's a very serious face and he's got affairs on. Quite funny. So I had to get my hanky out. I've got a piece of paper in my pocket. Hang on, I need to get it out. There we go. It's my shopping list. Very exciting. So where do we go now? Ooh, what have we got? Oh, this one looks kind of cute. Look at this one. He's eating this sort of grass. He looks really sweet. And he's in his armour. Oh, I like that one. That's cute. It's not so funny. I like the funny ones though as well. Oh, hang on. Oh, he's a bit scary. Look at him. Crikey. So we've got this sort of scary monster thing. It's sort of like an octopus thing. I don't know. With claws. Very strange. And then we've got one fighting him in his armour. There's a lot of armour in this book, so there's going to be a lot of silver. I quite find that fun. I mean, but you don't have to do it silver. You can do it any colour. You could use a silver pen or silver pencil, or you can shade it with grey. There's lots of options for silver. And we've got these plants here, so they look quite nasty. Sort of vicious looking plants, which is fun. So that's a good one. So he's in his house. He's standing on the arm of his plush sofa, wrapping his claws round, in his sort of smoking jacket, with a hammer in his belt, hanging his head of his animal, how we might hang, say, a deer. Well, I'm sure you and I don't, but you know what I mean. And it's this horned monster. That's such fun. And we've got striped wallpapers, quite a lot of nice things to colour in there. We've got the cheese plant, little table, and he's quite fun. He looks very, I don't know, he looks a bit serious, doesn't he? And he's got this little bit on his head, like oh, what's the name of the dinosaur that's got that bit? I can't remember. They have that bit of raised bone. I'm not sure. It's a long time since I read dinosaur books to my little children. We're on a fishing trip. Why is he? He's got his finger in the fish's mouth. He is funny. And there's a big splosh here. What's this big splosh going on, I wonder? Oh, maybe he's fishing and this is a monster. Oh, has he caught the fish on his finger? I'm not sure. Anyway, quite fun. I've got little snails there too. No, what's this guy doing? Oh, he's going for a ride on another monster. That's quite fun, isn't it? And I've got trees. Oh, I like him. Look at his helmet. That's really good fun. So it'd be good fun to colour. Oh, hot air balloon ride, as you do when you're a reptiloid. This bird looks a bit cross. Can you imagine? He's going to pop the balloon, do you think, with his beak? Look at them dancing. Look, they're dancing and they've got these horrible, I can't think what they're called, on his boots, which could be quite dangerous, I would say, when dancing. So you could do her really elegant, beautiful dress, and then she's got her her scales coming out the back. Or, I can't think what they're called. Anyway, what a good picture. Cool. Oh, now what's going on here? Oh, I know what this is. Is this gymnastics with a ribbon? Those girls that do their sort of ribbon twirling. Oh, so funny. And where are we here? We're looking very, very smart, like a footman, just like a footman with a pet. That one's cute, winged something, feeding it a little treat. Outside a very smart looking house. We've got curtains again and pillars. What fun. That's so much fun. Oh, and so he's caught this one by the looks of it. So he's got his foot up as he's stomping. But is this fire? Or is it leaves? Not too sure. Quite fun though, isn't it? Got a nice background with like a volcano or something going on there. Oh, we got another fight. Again, I think this is leaves, not fire. But you could do it any way you like. So he's caught this dragony thing. And he's got a sword. Oh no, that's not nice. He looks cute. Oh, we're at the bar, as you do. Sorry, it's slightly out of shot. Oops. So we've got wood in the background, which is quite fun to colour. I like that. And the wood, there's lots of potential wood. I mean, you don't have to do it all as wood. We've got their bottles, and he's got his tankard. It looks like he's telling him his problems. He's, oh! Look at him. So sweet. Little loyal dragon. And what have we got going on here? Oh, how to tame your dragon? I don't know. Oh, it's fun. He looks a bit scared. Oh, look at me on my horse. Poor little horse with little legs. Look at his belly. Oh, that's nice. Oh, we're going to sit elegantly and play the harp. That's rather fun. She's got a very wistful look on her face, hasn't she? She's got a high heel on, but toes. That's interesting. Now what do we do? Oh, we're feeding. As if we've got a little pet, maybe? Outside though, because this is like grass or leaves, isn't it? Oh, that's fun. Look at this one looking on. He wants some too. Oh, on the skateboard. I am the coolest. He looks so old. Oh, such fun. Now what's he? Oh, he's bringing him his newspaper. Oh, that's so sweet. We've got all the bricks and the flowers. That's leaves. That's a really nice picture. Look at him with his pipe. Smoking jacket. Now we're back outside. Is this Robin Hood, do we think? What's he doing? He's got his foot in a sort of hoist. I'm not really sure. I think, is he going to try and grab them? I don't know. Oh, I can't turn the page. Hold on. Oh, now this chappy. He looks, I don't know. I like the brickwork around him. Is he some sort of religious figure with like a stained glass window behind maybe? I don't know. Oh, and he's the last one. And then we've got the Amazon printed page. Now obviously where you buy this from will determine what the paper is like, but there we go. I'm going to just choose a picture and some pencils and come back and do a page for you. Right, I picked this picture. I thought it was fun. I rather like it. So we're going to start with the basket. I thought I picked my Arteza Expert pencils, and I'm going to use the cinnamon to do the basic basket, and then I'm going to add some other colours after. Oh, excuse me. Now Amazon paper is liked by some people more than others. Now I'm okay with it, to be honest. I'm just seeing if that, I think that needs to be covered over. I find the UK and the US Amazon paper is very different though, but either way it's just a matter of getting to know the paper and using it in the right way really. Now these are single-sided, as you would have seen from the flip through, which means that you can use a pen and not worry whether, you know, if it bleeds through, there's nothing to spoil on the back. I would put a piece of paper in between the pages, which I haven't done myself, but I am using pencil, not a pen. So that's going to make a difference. But I think that's gone down quite nicely. I'm going to use a darker one to do some highlights, lowlights? I don't know, a dark chocolate brown. It's not really a highlight if it's a shadow, is it? I used the wrong word. I did get out a few different sets of pencils, so I may swap in a minute. You'll see why. Well, I'll explain. There's no need for it to be a mystery. I'll just tell you what I'm doing. Here and here and here. Do you see there are lines because of the weave where there's a bit of shadow, so I'm just emphasising that with my darker pencil. I actually brought out some metallic, my Castle Art metallics, because I thought they might be useful for the actual reptile to make him look a bit shiny. So I might try that in a bit. I don't think I'm going to do the whole of this picture because it's going to take a bit of time, but I thought I would do the basics. I might not do the sky, that's going to take a bit of a while. Maybe not the border, but we'll see how I get on really. I just thought I'd get going and just give you some ideas really. It's fun. So I sent this book as a little prezi yesterday with the other one as well, and I was tired when it arrived at the end of the day. I've been out this morning, so I haven't had a chance to look and play with them yet. So I'm just like, come on, I want to get home and get on. But we're having a nice time out. I'm just trying to work out what to do. I think I'll do a light layer all over the bottom because it would be sort of shaded. I'm not worrying too much. There we go. That's the basket. Keep it quite simple. I'm going to do the ropes. And I'm going to choose this colour. This is the Camel Brown. The only thing with this book is it doesn't stay open very well yet. Because it's new, so I'm having to sort of hold it a little bit, but that's okay, it will get there. I know I've heard someone, my friend actually said to me, when she has an Amazon book and it's quite thick, she actually works through it in order, and she finds that somehow helps to sort of, for the spine, to sort of flatten as you go, but I wouldn't know. I have been doing the same thing with her in that particular book because she bought it for me. We've been doing buddy colours, and we've been going through it in order actually, as she'd said. I did do one further on and I could sort of see what she meant, because the first page tends to hold open better than ones later in the book, but that might be true of many books. Obviously if you've got a hardback or a spiral bound book, it's going to behave a bit differently to others. I'm going to put a little bit of dark bits with the cinnamon that we used before for the basket on a little bit of the rope areas. Not there because it's just going off the page, but where there might be a little bit of shadow on it, like not there, here where the basket, the balloon I mean is, and here where it's sort of attached, and under his, around the hand. That'll do. Okay, I want the balloon to be orange. I've just got to find my orange. I didn't actually fully open my pencils. I just opened the lid and got going. I don't really want a really bright orange though. I know. She says confidently and then changes her mind. I will use the orange. And then I'll change colour. So what I'll do is I'll put a layer of orange all over it, and then we'll add in a sort of darker colour after. I don't know why I thought it needed to be orange, it's just my head was like orange, so I'm just doing it. It's interesting, it's just sort of knotted here, and I should have done this rope, shouldn't I? We'll go back to that. The good thing with when I'm making a video, I always put the pencils to the side rather than back in the tin so that I can write them down at the end for you. And I've put it in the description, names of all the pencils with lots of other information. If you've never looked down at my video descriptions, there's loads and loads of garbage in there, so you might want to have a look. Garbage. Yeah, loads of stuff. Anyway, so I put them to the side, which means that if I miss a bit like that, I can just grab it because it's right there. I'm trying to work out how to colour that without covering it over. I'll try it that way. It's quite tricky. But I'm just sort of trying to follow the flow of the balloon. You know, do my lines in the direction of these lines as I colour. And I'm holding my pencil quite a long way away from the tip, and that's a much easier technique when you're doing a larger area, I find, and you get a slightly softer look. But yeah, these pencils are going down really well on this paper. I think it's great. Anyway, what was I saying? I just don't know. Oh yeah, I put the pencil aside. If I'm colouring on my desk, I tend to pop the pencils back in the tin, but leave them slightly tipped out so that I can still remember what I was using. Some people put them upside down, so you might have all your points facing upwards in the same direction. Some people would put them back the other way up so they know what they've been using. There are different techniques to use. It's always quite a good idea to have a way of just remembering. I'm going to use the Sienna brown to darken this a little bit. Firstly here on this bit I'm going to have to sharpen it. It's my sharpener. Oh, there it is. I had a fit then thinking it wasn't in here. 1 minute. Yeah, it's a good idea to just try and remember what you've used. Some people might be brilliant, just remember. Oh, but I can't. So I'm going to put a bit in here where there would be shadow. There are lines drawn on here for us, so it makes it so nice and easy. Like that. And then we've got these lines to sort of follow. And then I'm just going to put a bit on the edge. And the same on this side. I hope you can just about see. It's gone quiet outside now. My neighbour was strimming, I think. There was some sort of noise, but that's okay. Right, I'm going to bring the orange back in now and sort of go over a few bits. Just to darken a little bit. I think this will go quite well with the green for the monster reptiloid. So it's sort of a humanoid reptile. What are they called? Reptiloid. Let's get it right. So I want to try and fade my orange towards the centre of the balloon a little bit to help to give it a little bit of shape and shine. So I'm going to sort of put more colour on top of where I put that other darker colour, and just take that in a little bit more, but not completely in. Let's just do that bit. There we go. Probably not much more, just the edges. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but I'm going to leave it there anyway. I'm going to come back to our, whoops, I'm trying to pick it up, the camel brown, and do the bit around here. Yeah, we had a nice time this morning. All the family are home this week, and we went out to Slimbridge to look at the birds, which was really lovely. Don't worry, I'm not abandoning them. They're all highly involved in other things now. Now the sky, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the clouds white. I'm going to try and find a sky blue. I'll probably use this Periwinkle blue, and I'm just going to do it in one even tone. I'm not going to try and do anything fancy. Now, having a sky like this to do, it does give you the opportunity to try something a bit fun and different, because it's such a small area. You could do all sorts. You could do, you know, sunsets and sunrises, different shades of blue. You could white out these clouds with the edges of the clouds and do your own clouds effects, whatever. There's lots of options, but I'm just going to keep this one quite simple. I won't do that throughout. Some of them I will do sunsets and sunrises and different colours and things, because it's fun to mix it up a bit. But I think I'm going to do a little bit in there. But today I'm just going to do it like this. I'm not sure. Also, I can't do a sunrise or a sunset now. I've got orange there, because that's not going to work. So, and I'm actually going to leave the clouds as they are. I'm not going to put any colour in them at all. Just going to leave them And of course some of the pictures where you've got the person in a frame as if they're posing for a photo, the ones near the beginning, you can do any colour behind there. You can experiment with all sorts of things. I might even do some watercolour pencils in this book, because although the paper is really thin, it's going to wrinkle. What does that matter? You know, there's not a picture on the back. So what I tend to do if I'm doing watercolour or any wet media, whether that's a blending pen, you know, with blending solution or anything like that, is I get a laminate and put it behind the page. I don't like leaning directly onto a laminate. Look, I filled that in blue and the cloud doesn't come through, and on this side the bird doesn't come through, so I don't know if that should really be blue, but now I've started doing it I'm going to have to continue. So I'm just going to, I could change that later anyway. So put a laminate behind, and then there's no chance that the water will go through to any pages underneath and create any kind of a problem. And it may wrinkle your page, but I'm not worried about that myself. You know, it's a very personal thing. Okay, now we have, I think it's wearing gloves, look at that. Can't see the end on that one. And is that his bare arm and a short sleeve top? I think so, but he's got a scarf on. I can do his scarf first, and I thought a red might look really cool. So I've gone for this crimson red. We've got lots of other warm colours going on, so I think it might work. Now, having looked at a lot of the pictures through the book, I've been thinking about colours that I would choose. What's that? That's his thumb. And it's very tempting to do them all green, all the reptiles, because that's the sort of colour they are, isn't it? But it's going to be really boring. As I said, you know, you could do them pink or purple or whatever, but I actually am going to do this one green. So that's the basic part of the scarf. I'm going to grab a darker red. It's rolled away, my red. The magenta, it's a bit darker. And do the dark areas. So there are areas here that are marked on to be darker. So you can just follow that shading line and make it nice and easy for you. Now you can go back over with the other reds and back to my crimson red to finish off. I know I'm not zoomed in as normal, but I think it's easier to show you the whole page rather than trying to move around and zoom in and out and things like that. I've got my pencils really close to me now, so I would struggle to move the book around a bit. I've sort of lost some of that definition, so I'm just going to go back over it a bit in a harder layer. There we go. Now he has a jacket, I think, gloves. I'm thinking brown gloves, I don't know why. So I'm just going to grab, whoops, sorry. Let's use the Espresso brown for the gloves. I don't know how easy it is for you to see the name. So I'm going to put a light layer down first. Now the glove isn't going to really go beyond here, so this is it on this hand, and I'm just going to put some darker bits down here, maybe at the bottom of the fingers, there and underneath, like that. So there's that one, and then this one. So you can see that sky is really very light, but you can see it's there and you can see the clouds, and it makes it much quicker, which can be good, especially if you're new to doing backgrounds and things, but you don't really need to do one at all. If you don't fancy it, just leave the sky white. Or you could use a pen, which just makes it much quicker if you're confident with pens. They're almost like gauntlets, aren't they? So there's the gloves. Now I'm going to do his face now, because if I don't do it quick soon, I'm going to sort of run out of colours. Now I had the idea of doing it in a metallic, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with this one pencil set. I think that will be easier. So I'm going to use, I quite fancy doing it in the sort of bluey greens. So I'm going to start with the Shamrock Green, which I nearly said emerald because to me this looks quite like an emerald green. Now I'm going to be careful with the eyes because I want the whites of the eyes to remain white, and I'll think of what colour to do the iris bits later. I'm not sure. Ooh, I can hear some very odd noises. I think husband is opening the door in the sitting room. We've got French doors. It's getting a little bit stuffy and warm. As I say, we went out this morning to Slimbridge, saw lots of lovely birds, and it was really cold. It's like August, mid-August, and I was wearing a short sleeve t-shirt and everyone else was wearing jumpers and I was really cold. Now I'm trying to work out whether this is a bare arm, but I'm going to say no because this bit I don't think is, and although that, yeah, I think I'm going to do this as a whole sort of jacket. I think it will look better. So this is the only skin that I'm going to do. So I'm going to colour this up a little bit where there are lines. So here around the lip area there are some lines, and here, and I'm just using the drawing as a guide. I'm just trying to find out the author's name. Is it Vasyl Saiko, maybe? I shall check that out before I put the video up and get that right. Well, my pronunciation, probably no, but I'll check out the name, get the name right. Do these little raised bits. I think he's so cute. I don't think he's supposed to be cute. And here he is. He just doesn't look amused, does he? I think for his eyes I'm going to use a darker green. Or maybe should I use a lighter green? Yeah, I use a lighter green because we've got trees down there. I think they might be mountains or trees. I'm going to do them as trees. I'm going to actually use the turquoise. And I'm going to fade it up a little bit. So a darker bit nearer the bottom and just fade it up to a very light bit at the top. Yeah, but I can't hardly see any on this one. I think it'd be quite fun to do one of them red, you know, like it's sort of bloodshot, scary eyes. Now his jacket. So we've got red, we've got brown. I don't think yellow is going to work. I'm wondering about a dark purple. Blue. Does blue match green skin? Blue and green should never be seen, so I was always told. Let's use this blue. This is the Aegen blue, so it's quite a greeny blue, I think. So let's just pop some blue down. Let's see. I think it goes with the red quite nicely. You should put some sky in there. You still can this time. Now I don't know if that's supposed to be his chest or not, because it's got like dots on as if it could be fur, but I'm not sure. I think I might just leave it and do it in a colour as if it's an under piece of clothing of some sort, like a shirt or t-shirt or something. Okay, so that's a light layer of our blue. What I want to do is make it a bit darker at the under here where there would be some shadow, and maybe each side of the arm just to give it a little bit of shape, like that, and a little bit on the sides, I think, like that. Nothing too complex, just under the scarf there'd be some shadow too, wouldn't there? There we go. I'm just going to grab that sky colour, which was the Periwinkle blue. Just do that bit in there. Oh, and that bit. Just checking. Yeah. Now underneath I'm thinking, Maybe just a paler blue, nothing too fancy. Let's try the Robin Egg Blue. Like that. Maybe it would be a little bit darker on the edges where the jacket might be shadowing it. There we go. Okay, now we have this bird, and I'm thinking if we do him in grey, then he'll look quite different to the warm colours of the rest of the page. I am going to grab the elephant grey because obviously he's an elephant. And just go for it. Just put a layer down. I'm colouring this really simply. It's actually a really great picture. There's so much expression in their faces, and lines already drawn on for us for shading and things like that. It doesn't need lots of work. I'm going to do the beak a different colour though. You know, the feathers are drawn in here for us, so we've got everything we need really just to keep it nice and straightforward, which is really good. It's great fun to colour actually, to say. If you like pictures that are quite easy to finish, you know, you wouldn't have to spend too long on each one. You could, but you wouldn't have to, and it would mean that you could get a little picture done quite quickly, maybe in one sitting, which can be quite satisfying. Sometimes we're in the mood for just sitting down and getting something done, and that sort of feeling of accomplishment. I'm going to keep going with this colour, but just put some shade and shadow in a little bit. It's really, I'm just keeping it really simple. I feel like the book calls for simplicity in some way, just the style of it. Let's just put a few feather lines in. Oops. A bit of shadow under here and under there. There we go. There, and now the beak. I'm going to go for a dark grey, I think. This is the Pewter grey, which I'm actually going to use for something else in a minute too, I think. So I'm going to do it quite hard, but leave a little lighter white area like that. The light's catching the beak. I'm not going to use this one again. I'm actually going to use this one, the Cloudy grey, for some of the metal. So here the clips or hooks or whatever they are, I'm going to make them dark at the bottom and leave a little gap in the middle for shine. So it's really simple. Do a dark part here, just fade it down a little bit, do the whole of the bottom quite dark, fade it up and just leave a little gap. There we go. And this one similarly, I'm going to leave a white gap there and one there. Now I've got this long bit. I can do that side quite hard and that side quite hard. Leave a bit of a gap in the middle if you can. Yeah, darker at the bottom. There are some extra lines drawn at the bottom to help us. A bit of white in there. There we go. Simple. We have the sandbags, are they? I can't remember. I thought they'd be quite fun in a blood orange colour, sort of to match the balloon. If it's a bit too dark, we'll add a second colour. I think it might just work. Just to add some brightness to our picture as well. Again, I think it will be darker at the bottom. And on the edge. And the same with this one. This is such a fun picture. I picked this one because it didn't make me laugh as much as the others, but it just seemed a little bit simpler because I, try and do the whole thing in one video. And I really want to look at my next book. So I was in a hurry, but it's taken me, I don't feel like I'm rushing it. It's fun, I don't want to spoil it. There we go. Now we have these could be mountains, but I want to do them as trees. It's up to you. You don't have to do them as, do them however you want. Oops, I'm going to use the Jade green. Okay, and just colour them all the same colour. Keep it really simple. You don't have to. You can colour them in lots of different colours. It's up to you. And I've got to think about this frame. I'm actually wondering, is it a wooden frame? Is it a gold frame? Probably gold. I think there's going to be quite a lot of gold in this book with the frames and things. But I'll show you, I don't know if I've made gold with this set before, but we'll do it. I'll show you how to do gold. It really doesn't take as long as you might think. We just finish this first. Okay, so gold, start with a dark brown. We've used our darkest brown already, the Espresso brown, so we'll come back to that and use that. And you put it in every area you want to be dark. Now on this one there are lines in areas, so we can use that as a guide. So here, here, here and here. So it really speeds me up because I don't have to decide where to put the dark colour. It tells me. So I'm just copying it basically. Now it can be good to use, some people use black rather than a dark brown. It can be okay. And it's quite good to have a contrast between your darkest and lightest. So if you use black, and then some people use white, so you've got a big jump. But I find a dark brown is usually enough. To give me a gold that satisfies me. So yeah, you might want to know what birds we saw when we were out today. The place has flamingos. What they do is they take endangered birds and try to breed them and release them back into their natural habitats. And so they have flamingos. I don't know if they're the ones they've got are all endangered now. They said, I was speaking to one of the volunteers actually, and she said they're working hard on trying to make sure that the ducks and geese and swans that they breed are actually, because they're all wetland birds, are actually the endangered ones. So they're working hard with making sure that they are concentrating on the endangered species. Now we need a lighter brown. I think the cinnamon will work quite well. And basically you just extend the colour you've done already. Gosh, that's quite orange, isn't it? It might end up looking a bit coppery or bronzy. It's not going to be a problem. Just extending that area. Yeah, so she said, so they're sort of changing the displays at the minute, changing things around a little bit, moving some of them around and things. So that's fun. She said they were going to try and do, what they sometimes do is a little talk about a particular bird, whether it be a flamingo or they've got otters there as well, otter talk or whatever. And sometimes they do a feeding of the birds at the same time, so you can watch them being fed, which can be quite nice. Or you can feed them yourself if you're allowed to. It depends. Sometimes they allow it and sometimes they don't. And but she said they were going to try and do one for some of the geese that they've just moved into a new enclosure. But she said they're so shy. Even if you just move their food bowl, get absolutely petrified and upset. So she said trying to sort of do a feeding session could be really difficult because they get upset, so they might have to change their plans. Obviously they work with the bird, and if the birds aren't happy then they have to do something different. So we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do. Now I would normally go for a really light brown, but I don't have anything lighter than this sort of camel brown, which almost looks like a Naples yellow or yellow ochre. So we're going to use this one next. It doesn't really matter where you start. You know, I've just started in a slightly different place to where I started before. All you need to do is just work all the way around. I always tend to go over the top of what I've done already, so that it I actually might make this my last colour. I rather like that look there. Sorry, you may not be able to see. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit there. Now I need to leave some white to make it look like shine. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So bring the colour together and just leave a little bit. It has to only be a tiny bit though. If you leave too much, it just looks like you've forgotten to colour a bit. So you have to, and that area didn't really have any. In some areas I've coloured too aggressively and there isn't any white area left. So it's just got to be coloured. But anyway, so we saw the flamingos. They were quite fun, very noisy, but always fun. Saw quite a few native birds that are opportunists, and they tend to go there to get fed because they know there's always food around. So moorhens and coots and mallards and grey-lag geese. There's always lots of those around. We saw the Crested Screamer and its baby. Well, I say baby, it's quite big. It's a shouty teenager. It's quite fun. I've never heard them screaming actually. They do make quite a screechy noise apparently, but I think not when they're on public display so much. Or maybe it's just when they're trying to attract the female, and they pair them up, so they don't really need to do that, I don't think. Anyway, they're quite fun. Oh, that's a big bang. I think the door might have blown shut. Oh well, the family are around, they can sort it. I can try and leave a bit in the middle of that bit. What else do we see? There were lots of teals. I really like teals. Got their little blue beaks. They were really pretty. There were some eiders. I don't know. They were very lovely. So it's just good fun, and lots of swans as well, and a few different types of gull. So it's lovely. And there was some red shanks and some ibis. So I guess maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. Anyway, it was good fun. We had a great time. We sat in a hide for a bit, looked at some birds, and then just walked around and fed a few. Just had fun as a family, which was nice. And now we're all back at home doing our own little things on our own, but that's how we tend to be. Can't do everything together. We're in the same room normally. I'm not now, obviously. I'm recording in a separate room, but my son said he might do a bit of recording as well for his YouTube, so yeah, we'll see. But as I say, I just wanted to come and play with my new book. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just really roughly adding colour and I'm finished. So I just went round and round really. Now you could add some highlights to this with a white gel pen if you want to. It can be quite fun to do that. I'm not sure there's anything too much here I want to do, to be honest. I think I'm happy with it as it is. So yes, so that was Arteza Expert, as I said, and I just kept it quite simple really. It was fun. So there he is flying up in the air, looking rather scared of this. He looks quite evil, doesn't he? The only thing, he hasn't got an iris on his eye, that bird. I'm thinking maybe a really dark grey, We've got the pewter grey here, which we used before. Maybe we use that. There we go. There, all done. So that was fun. So I do obviously need to say a big thank you to Sharon, who sent me these lovely books. It's such fun to colour. I didn't think it would be so much fun and so funny. But I'm going to leave that now, and then I'm going to look at the next one. But that video won't come out straight after. I'm not quite sure when it will come out. It might even be a week of a break or something, because I've got quite a lot going on for you to see. But we'll just wait and see. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and yes, happy colouring.